With all the holes we've made in the timeline, it was bound to split. 2 to 3 or 2 to 0 west, the snow will never quit. 23 full years of questing to race for deaths, but that's a given. RuneScape 3 Hardcore Ultimate Ironman, questing through 2007. Welcome back to March 6th, 2007. Still training thieving. Not for much longer, though. Knock out the Menifite Thug. And pickpocket him. For 98 thieving. Very good. Later on, that will be pickpocketing minor workers. Anyways. 498,000 coins. Pretty good. Take those out of the coin pouch, because that doesn't exist. Cash stack. 4.3 million. That's pretty good. Drop all this beer we don't need. And this too. Because we got some things to do today. And that requires updates. Obviously. On March 13th, 2007. Postbag from the Hedge, 16. Featuring the likes of the Dagnoth Kings, Barrows Brothers, Trolls. All sorts of answers to your questions. Also, Player's Gallery has dragons and a very stupid rock. Exactly what that means would be apparently more obvious if you go see the rock. Something about that. And rounding out a trio of things on the website, more stuff in the quest help system. Get a little bit of a hint at the next step of Soul's Bane, Between a Rock, Horror from the Deep, Regicide, and Throne of Miscellanea. Definitely a system. And the first change. And I'm doing, yes, in fact, the first change to the barrel chest anchor. It is now slightly stronger, but also slightly slower. And the price has changed. It started being 50,000 coins to repair it, and that was deemed to be a little bit too low. So everybody gets one more anchor repair at 50k. And then after that, it's going to be 700k. And they've also changed the on-death mechanics. Mostly for PvP. If you die and lose the anchor, instead of just nothing, you'll now drop 230,000 coins. So, a little bit of something for people that BK'd you. Instead of just getting nothing traded for getting whacked with an anchor over and over. Because it's decent as just a big whack and stick for PvP. Don't need to worry about that. It is not the last time the anchor will be changed. We'll worry about that later. Because we have the main update for today to go deal with. We need to go out to Mauritania. A new reward for the Darkness of Halvale quest. Pairing up with Temple Trekking, which goes from Bergdarat to the temple here. We now have Bergdarat Ramble, which goes from the temple here to Bergdarat, allowing for a continuous loop back and forth to keep playing the minigame. Much more convenient than having to try to make your way back to Bergdarat every single time. Things have drastically changed here with an update in 2011, but still reasonable to play. And there's now new rewards that we actually want to get. Normally, there'd be a whole bunch of guys here that you could talk to each individual one to go out on a trek. But now it's in a notice board. Again, in 2011. There's a whole system with these guys with levels and things. Not a thing yet. It's also not going to really matter. So we're just going to quick start with the easy ones. Not that it's going to make a huge difference. Out of the swamps. Now we have a choice. Would only get one choice of which path you wish to take. Easy, medium, or hard. With the update, you can choose each time. We're just going to be blasting through easy paths. Should be perfectly fine. Continuing on the easy path. It's the easiest route. We go this way. Yes. And don't ask me again. We just gotta blast through here. Combat tasks. We evade this. We're gonna evade with this boat. Evade event. You're not complete the event, so you can't continue. Yes, I can. They changed this again, too. Not complete the event, so you can't continue. Well, we can't kill a vampire. I guess I will go get a silver sickle. Alright, take 2. Easy path. Still going easy path. Really, we might be able to evade some events, but not all of them. Also got druid pouches and sacks of cabbage. So, in theory. So they're getting levels, it's not a thing yet. Oh, it might be like 50% to evade sometimes. But for the most part, it should be easy enough that we can just go. That was the gas room. You need the druid pouches. Might have been changed that the follower has pouches or something. We have our own though, so it's fine. Ah, the bog. The best one. Alright. This one is quite the situation. Need to cut some branches from this spiny bush. Try to make your way across the bog. Honestly, if we come up to this event again, I'm just going to teleport away. But just for information, you poke each individual square of the bog, looking for the one that isn't super soft. This one's also soft. Go to the next bit. And your sticks can get sucked in, so that's also a problem. It's a similar kind of idea to the puzzle that was in Lunar Diplomacy. Looks like you auto stand on the firm part of the bog now. That's different too. Poke it. Soft that direction. Try the other ways. Soft. So hopefully you would think the last remaining one would be firm. Always checking to be able to go across the bog as quickly as possible here. And your follower just follows you across. Hoping for the best. Yeah, this definitely slows things down. Especially if you get an annoying pattern of the bog crossing. Soft again, so we go further this way. We try it again. Still soft. It's the bog of resetting the run, essentially. Nothing else is quite as long and annoying. And we finally make it across. Unlike some of the other ones, there's also no skipping. So we continue the trek. And we've made it to Berg de Rot. As you're seeing me through that safely, please accept this reward token as thanks. The reward tokens. These are still only redeemable at the banks and for a random reward. The ones you get up from near Canifis, you need to turn in at the Canifis Bank. The ones you get from down here, you need to turn in at the Berg de Rot Bank. So we're going to be getting a pile of these and then dealing with it. Once again, we're going with the easiest guy on the easiest path, just to move things along. The 2011 followers are much more effective than the ones that we would currently have. They fight things, do stuff. And here's a place. Empty, the cabbage sack. We've got some sick travelers here. We're going to save their lives with cabbages. We talk to one of the sick guys here. Hank. I'm starving. Feed me before I turn into a ghast. That is how things work. If you die in the swamp, you become a ghast. So, we save them with cabbage. You can also kill the snails here, chop down a tree, light the log, cook the snail meat. It's an option. Interestingly, although this event does exist here in 2007, it's currently bugged in old school RuneScape. So it just doesn't happen ever, which is pretty wild. Another event you can't really evade. That's why I have all these cabbages. Continuing on. Looking for new events, new things, and some very specific things. Trim the swamp tree. This is what we have the knife for, and a few other things. Tie rope together. Put it on the larger branch here, so we can swing our way across the river here. A very good time. And then they swing over also. Continue. Continue, continue, continue. Looking for very specific rewards here. Another 3 people here. Starving. Gonna die. Depending on which route you take, you get more or less people and monsters and everything. Hard path, you get 5 people here you need to give a cabbage to. It's a lot easier if you bring cabbages. It's very simple. See me through that safely, set this reward token as thanks. Another reward token. And then, just keep going. It really is just that easy. Going through, looking for new stuff. Here's the vampires again. See if we can get away with killing one and then evading. Oh, well, killed him instantly. Yeah, evading on one does work. If they're just gonna be one hit, we might as well just go through both of them. There is a system for rewarding you with the rewards and stuff. If you don't get enough points, you don't get a reward. A lot of the rewards are not going to be super useful for us, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, that was the Juvenates. Apparently incredibly, incredibly weak. Well, that's okay. The gas get affected by the Druid Pouch, so we don't need to worry about that. Might end up needing to go get more Druid Pouches. Part of the problem. And now we're back here. Now we talk to another person, go back the other way. It really is quite the system here, temple trekking. A lot more helpful if we could choose the rewards we get. That's not what we get. We might not even need these sharks on us if all the monsters are going to be this weak. We are a little bit overpowered, especially for the easiest stuff here. And the fact that it really hasn't been rebalanced or anything. Well, that's okay. Running into more ghasts. Him. We could evade. It's gonna grab the Druid Pouch anyways, so might as well get the full reward. You get a lot of the same guys here. There are, in fact, other events that could happen. With the 2011 change, you can sometimes look between the different paths, see which one you want to pick. And for us, we can just keep sprinting through. And it's definitely a sprint. It's definitely a sprint. Running, running, running. Might end up with quite a few of these awards here. Here's some new guys. Nail Beasts. These guys are very interesting. They drop Nail Beast Nails, which are used to make a new potion, the Samfu Serum. Take a Super Restore, add Unicorn Horn Dust, Snakeweed, and these nails. You get a potion that is a super restore, super anti-poison, and Relsum's Balm at the same time. Of course, there is no disease anymore, so it's mostly just a super restore and a super anti-poison, which is kind of annoying to make. Well, that's okay. Nail beasts. Also, a little bit more dangerous, usually. Used to be. They attack a lot, they're very fast. Somewhat dangerous. More ghasts, it's fine. Yep. Some tasks, some of the events here seem to be a little bit more common than others. That's okay. We're really not worrying about anything's drop tables in here, because they're really, really not very good. Well, that's okay. And another one of these. It's a river and not a bog, so we don't need to run away screaming. It's not a good time trying to cross the bog. With how quick things are, it's really not even a huge deal to just teleport back to Canifus. Try again. It's all good. Yeah, it doesn't seem like we're really going to be evading too much. Well, that's okay. Grab another one. Keep sprinting. Still quite a few events we haven't seen yet, including the one we actually want. Here is Shades of Morton. The Shades are trying to bust into everybody's houses here. Kill them. Well, that's not good. So we will take them all out. Just some low-level Shades here. Easily accomplishable. One of the more combat-focused events here. Well, that's okay. Again, we could pick up the remains if we wanted them. Don't really. Well, that was the Shades event. Cross that off the list of things we want to see. There's even some events that don't exist yet that we need to slightly worry about. Here's the bridge event, where you chop some trees to get logs to repair the bridge. There's also these zombie lumberjacks, which we do want, but they only really do what we want in the other version of the bridge, unfortunately. Zombie lumberjacks drop the lumberjack set. We will get that when we actually get the correct version of this. These ones don't drop anything. This is one with trees, which is always disappointing to get the bridge with trees, because it means you're not getting the thing you really want. We really might end up needing to go get additional fruit pouches. Any rotting logs here we can use? We still need the prayer for it, though. It's just more convenient to just do it at the Nature's Grotto, honestly. We're back here, we go back again. This unfortunately does count as a head start on leveling these guys up for the 2011 update. Well, that's okay. We're just going to use these sharks, since we really do not need food here. Or at least a few of them. I think we might need to use one more to even out the number of cabbages we have. Since it's 3 food per campsite event, it ends up being multiples of 3, obviously. Started with 30 cabbages. We've already used 10 of them. That's okay. The XP from just doing stuff here is also not particularly impressive. Not fighting very strong things. If we went down the harder paths, we'd have more stronger guys to deal with. So, a little bit more XP, but nothing impressive. Here we go with river, bridge, with trees again. Sad times. Let me just repair and get our way across. There you go. And we continue. Didn't even get any zombies this time. We're too quick. We're just too quick. Okay. I'm just going to keep going through here. See all the new things. And try to get the lumberjack set. Next new one. Swamp snakes. They are snakes in a swamp. You can skin them to get a whole bunch of snake hide. Want to go make some snake skin stuff. Well, that's fun. We don't really need snake skin or anything. So we're just going to keep on keeping on. I tagged the bird drop bank and then came here to the cannabis bank. So we've turned in all of our reward tokens. Unfortunately, they're still random, so I don't get to choose which thing we get here. Just gonna kind of go through here in order. If we do 8 at a time, we could say that we got one of each thing. We have an additional 5 things here though, so we're gonna have less inventory space once we get all these things though. The exact rewards are also a little bit different than they would be. We have 1 pure essence, which is actually correct. Then we get some bowstrings, could be useful. Also, actually things that exist. Next up is silver bars. They've been replaced with silver stone spirits, which are not a thing that exists. The herb reward has also changed. Would be only Terramins and Harlanders, but now it's Guam to Harlander. Terramin's not very good of a herb for us to actually make stuff with. We got some ashes, I guess we could do something with that, so I guess we'll keep the Terramins. That's acceptable. Coal and iron has been replaced again with stone spirits. The watermelon seeds don't actually exist for another month. We would be getting wild blood hop seeds here, which would not be very good. The sharks are supposed to be lobsters, so we don't get to keep those. And a random XP tome actually exists. So that's fine. Just gonna keep going through here. Even amounts of each of them, I guess. Close enough to something. More herbs. See, this time we got Harlanders, which are also technically correct. Quantities of things are also a little bit all over the place, but for the most part. Drop these and these and these and these. Read this woodcutting XP tome for 1300 XP. Oh boy. We'll be keeping these, I guess. See if we can think of what we want to do with some Harlanders. Yeah, this is going to be taking up some inventory space here. Worth it, though. We're still after the actual things we're looking for here. Next pile of random loot. We get mining XP. Mining XP. And to drop a lot of things. Still getting the pure essence, bowstrings, Terramins, and Harlanders though, so we're getting something out of this. Have not gotten lumberjack yet. Also kind of need to go and restock on cabbages and druid pouches. So we'll do that. Here is a new event. And by a new event, I mean one that only exists in 2011 version. You get water power from the nature spirit and start blasting all of the fires. Pretty wild. At certain times there were various smuggles of the water power or similar looks to be all water looking, something like that. Yeah, just kind of blast the fires. Doing great. And then you win. Just like that. It's just on fire, and now it's not. Jump the bridge and be on our way. No actual additional rewards or anything. That's okay. A very different event here. Arbiter Crank. Hey there. Hello there. Hello Hello there, my friend. You look like you could do with some assistance. We do. Yes, of course. Here, prepare yourselves. And we get a defense boost, bonus health. Very fun. There you go. Right, I must be off now. Good luck with your travels. Just a random friendly guy here. A good Samaritan in the swamps. Alright. The lumberjack situation has slightly changed. There is no bridge with no trees anymore. It's just some of the time lumberjacks spawn. Only 3 of them. And they have a 1 in 10 or something drop rate of a piece of lumberjack. So instead of 50% of the bridges probably giving you a piece of lumberjack, it's now more like 50% can have some lumberjacks, and then 1 in 3.33 I guess, of those. So it's more like 1 in 6 bridges will get you a lumberjack piece. So RNG on top of RNG on top of RNG here, my goodness. And there is the lumberjack hat. This is 1 out of 4. Even though we're having to drop like over half of the rewards, if our luck continues this way, we're gonna have some stacks to play with. Well, there's something. We're talking about how things don't get very much XP. Well, you're here a long enough time, eventually you'll get some XP. There is 77 defense. That's something, I guess. Let's see anything from that. Combat level 106. That's something. And no unlocks. That's okay. Before they die, there's the giant snails. Those exist. My goodness. Took a while to find these. I think that might be the last event that would exist. There's still 1 more that doesn't exist yet that we might get. That's okay. This is the evade path. I want to go to the continue path. Well, it has definitely taken a bit here. Well, there are the lumberjack legs. Second piece. Oh boy. On a positive note, there are no duplicates of the lumberjack set. So we get them in order here. Did say in 2011 they became more common. Sure is not feeling that way right now. Must have gotten a good combo of events. We got a medium reward token here. That's neat. Looks like it's going to fall onto silver stone spirits though, so we don't get any value out of this. Oh well. Stone spirits. What a situation. There's the lumberjack top. 3 out of 4. Inventory space is doing just fine. We can get 8 of the reward tokens and then just do everything. It's all working out. 1 more to go. Okay. So, I've been doing a lot of temple trekking, trying to get the last piece of the lumberjack set, the boots. Turns out that is not how things work. We must have missed the boots earlier on, because those are supposed to be the first thing that drops. And instead of you needing to pick up your piece of lumberjack and then destroy it, leaving the area counts as destroying, and then it gets popped into Django. This might be a 2017 change to add the interface retrieval outfits to Django here. But yeah. It is impossible for us to get the boots as a drop because we already own them in the retrieval service because they were destroyed when we left them on the ground. So we're going to retrieve them, because we should have picked those up. And it's impossible to get the drop otherwise at this point. And we did plenty of extra temple trekking and Berg Rat Ramble in order to get it again, if it was possible to get. Wild. Wild. And also, another spot says missing pieces will drop before duplicates, or there can't be duplicated anymore. It's a whole system. We didn't get any duplicates either, though, so I don't think that's even a thing. No longer obtain duplicate items. Yep. Well, that's just via the Ango. So maybe you still can get duplicate drops, and we still also didn't get that. But we definitely got the boots at some point, because they're in a magical interface instead of just dropping on the ground later correctly for us, which is ridiculous. Anyways, get out of Canifis. This was a process that took far longer than it should have, because we couldn't get the drop. The Lumberjack set. We are Lumberjacks now. With fancy rock shell gloves. Well, that's okay. This will be very good for woodcutting. It gives 2.5% bonus woodcutting experience, which was doubled to 5% in 2012. But we also did double the drop rate for getting it. So, I say that counts. We can't make it give us less XP. And honestly, with the amount of time it took us to get this outfit, is not even going to pay for how much extra woodcutting it would have saved. It's just nice to have. Open up the armor case here. We need to make space again. I'm just going to store this here for now. Lumberjack set. Deposit. And we're going to take out the bomber set. Doesn't do anything. Because we still want the rock shell in here too. And we can't store 5 things in here yet, I don't think. Just because we don't have the good enough armor case. Yep. So, bomber can go away, it's fine. In terms of things that we got from doing all that temple trekking, and then doing all that temple trekking again in a wildly unnecessary fashion, because the drop mechanics are weird. 4,735 pure essence, 2,740 bowstrings, 177 grimy terramins, 302 grimy harrowlanders. And this would be more than twice as much if we could choose the drops, which we can't do until 2011, or if we had the ability to keep any of the other things if they were the right things, but they weren't. This is still a ludicrous pile of things we now need to deal with. We're going to deal with that later, though. Because we have one more set of updates to go look at. On March 20th, 2007. Fishing trawler improvements. More fish, scales better with more people, and a convenient bank deposit box at the minigame for putting away all your fish. For whatever reason, Ironman on RuneScape 3 cannot even do fishing trawler. Not that we would have anyways, but still. Not a thing. Elsewhere, cows, chickens, and rabbits got a graphical update, so that's nice. Moving items in your inventory while doing combat, fishing, or woodcutting no longer interrupts you from doing stuff. And just keep on doing stuff while you move things in your inventory. Get rid of awkward pauses and interrupts like that. So that's nice. The prayer buttons now light up instantaneously. Again. A bug was added with the last week's update, which made them not turn on until the next game tick. It's a little bit awkward for everybody. And on the login screen, there's a new world changing button. So you don't need to go back to the world list directly like that. Just more convenient for hopping worlds. Still not any big in-game world hopper or anything. That's okay. The barrel chest anchor has been updated again. The strength was increased again. The accuracy was increased. And the cost has been changed from 700k to 230k. Just like the amount that you drop. So it's now no longer a massive gold sink for tying with the anchors, because the money just goes to the other person. But anyways, anchors. Are they good? Are they bad? Better than they were before, I suppose. And cheaper too. That's something. And the main update for today. Another reward from an older quest. We're going to Dorgish Khan. Over in the Cave Goblin Mines, requiring the latest in the Cave Goblin quests, Death to the Dorgishan. Dorgish Khan, the city of the Cave Goblins, right through this door. Surface Dweller, never find your way into the city of Dorgish Khan. Is it through that big door, right there? Well, yes, but you'll never find your way in. I thought I was allowed to enter the city now. Oh yes, so you are. I better say something different. Ahem. Surface Dweller, you will easily find your way into the city of Dorgish Khan. How about that? Yes, that's much more appropriate. Very much was the case that they were not letting surface dwellers in here, but now they are. The Cave Goblin City of Dorgish Khan. Talk to the guard inside here, too. Don't you try anything, surface dweller. I'm keeping an eye on you. Oh, we're gonna try a few things, don't you worry. Dorgish Khan. Big, underground place. Full of things to do. First thing to do is enjoy the graphical rework for the cave goblins. They are looking snazzy. Goblins, but in a cave, but in a really big cave with a city in it. There you go. There really is a lot to see here. Like a bank that we obviously can't use. Nothing in the bank. Not for us. Two different layers. And lots of people to talk to about all kinds of things. And doors to open. That's alright. Oldak. A goblin scientist. Oh, hello. I'm just trying to discover the properties of these magical stones you call runes. I'm trying to make some devices to harness their power. What have you discovered? Oh, it's terribly exciting. Let me explain. Oldak lectures you on the magical energies stored within runes, and you find yourself thinking about magic with greater clarity. Oh, I see. Magic. What have you made? The only thing I've been able to make so far is this, called a moving over distance sphere. Why is that? Well, I was experimenting with these blue runes, the ones called law runes. They have a strange property of being able to move instantly from one place to another. I know. I couldn't believe it either. I found that whenever I prepared powdered law rune in a certain way, and then threw them on the ground, I would appear somewhere else in the city. So I made this sphere. It's a glass ball coated with powdered law runes, prepared in a special way. I asked Zanuck to test it. She said that wherever she was in the caves, even if she went to the surface, where she smashed the sphere, on the ground, she would appear back in the city. I can see how it might be useful. I wish I knew more about how it worked. Can I buy one? You'll need to give me 2 law runes and a piece of molten glass. This is buy spheres from Oldak. Just teleporting here to Dorgish Khan. You need to bring molten glass. Making new magical items. Very fancy. Oldak. We'll be talking to him more in the future. Just looking around the city here. We've got all sorts of cave goblins. We can pickpocket them. We said we were not supposed to be getting into trouble, but we're just out here getting into trouble. They don't drop a huge amount of interesting things. Lots of various cave goblin stuff, underground stuff. Got some bullseye lanterns here. It's even a ready-to-go bullseye lantern. That's pretty nice. Much more convenient than trying to make it ourselves. And with 98 thieving, we better be able to pickpocket from these guys, because they are only level 36. There's also a few other thieving opportunities here. Go look around for some stuff. You might want a lockpick. I don't know. But there are various chests that you can find around the city. In all the various buildings. Upstairs, downstairs, all around. Pick a lock at a chest. You need a lockpick. Yeah. 2 kinds of chests, or maybe 4 kinds of chests. There are the regular chests with some regular stuff again. Kind of some similar things like the pickpocketing here. And then you have the rich chests with more fancy stuff. Nothing super crazy. The XP is something, but we don't really care about thieving XP at this point. We've kind of got that under control. There's also slightly different chests for Holdak and Zanuck. But again, nothing we really care about. Don't want to be stealing from Zanuck here. That'd be a bit much. Hey Zanuck, are you teleporting away? Yeah, they're gone. They might be back later. Walking around town. They're here. There's Zanuck's chest we can steal from. If we had a lockpick. We'll try to catch up with Zanuck here in a bit. See what other adventures she's been on. Yeah, a few things to steal, which definitely gives a good first impression coming to the city here. Stealing everything. That's why they didn't let surface dwellers in here. Mistakes have been made. Next up, we've got the marketplace. All kinds of fun stuff happening here. We've got various people selling various dishes. Frog burger. There's nothing like grilled frog in a bun. Do you want one? Only 10 GP. Yes, please. There you go. Yeah, frog burgers. Tasty. Got a whole variety of things here for Cave Goblin fast food. Bat shish kebabs. We've got creepsy frog legs. And all for very cheap prices here. Cave slime soup. We've got just great stuff out here. And then we have the gourmets. Oh, a surface dweller. Have you got any exotic surface foods to sell? Not at the moment. Ah, pity. Dormition food seems so dull, and I've tasted surface food. You can bring them random bits of food from the surface, and they will pay you some amount for them, sometimes. They're very picky, and exactly what they want constantly changes. So, it's an awkward system that's not too useful. Weird stuff. There's lots of systems down here in Dorgashkan. Some of them more useful than others. Here's Lurgan. Welcome, Surface Dweller, to the Dorgashkan Marketplace. Here to sell your exotic surface foods? Maybe. How do I do that? Most of the people wandering around the market want to buy food. Since the passage to the surface opened up, there's been a craze in exotic food from up there. To sell something, simply use a piece of food on one of the gourmets in the market, then name your price, and the gourmet will tell you how many they're interested in buying for that price. Want a rough idea of how much something will sell for, show it to me and I'll try to estimate. But you should also take into account the gourmet's reactions when naming your price. If someone likes the look of a food, they will pay more for it. Also remember that the novelty of new foods quickly wears off. If you have been eating a lot of something lately, they won't pay as much for it. Someone especially likes your food, they might even start a craze for it. There's a food that's in fashion like that, and the gourmets will pay much more for it. If you want to sell food in the market, you need to get permission from the council first. The counselor in charge of giving permission at the moment is Urzek. So we also need to deal with the Cave Goblin Council if we want to sell food at the market. We got a whole system here. We have a lamp still and a lamp stall. Possibly could use that for making oil. Be pretty good. Miltog, Reldak. We'll buy some leather armor. It's from the next stall over here. Yes, please. He's got the frog leather set. It is not very good, but it is made of frog, which does count for something, I suppose. Just a lot more flavor, too, for the whole city. That's nice. Miltong, I'll buy a lamp surface dweller. Can you fill a lamp with oil, is another question. Do you have lamp oil? You can do that yourself. Let's put some swamp tar in the lamp oil still here, then use the lamp on the still. Okay. And that is because the sales here, we've got bullseye lanterns. You need to add lamp oil before you can use it. Bullseye lantern, a sturdy steel lantern, and unfortunately, the stocks are basically gone. This one might even already have oil in it, but if there's zero stock, there's zero stock. There's also zero stock of the one without oil in it. So that's unfortunate. You can get your mining helmet and a tinderbox, I guess. Some basic torches. I'm really driving you to thievery, where you can get the completely filled bullseye lantern from just stealing from them. Definitely a missed market they're going for here. There are also information here about the lamps around the city. How do the lamps around the city work? They work by our very own Dorkishan magic. Sometimes they don't work very well, though. Light orbs blow and they have to be replaced. If you ever see a lamp that's gone out, you can fix it by replacing the light orb. You can make new light orbs out of glass and use a piece of wire on them to add the filament. There's a machine in the south of the city that makes the wire you need. That is another whole system here, my goodness. Also be a general store here. With Lurgan. Trade Lurgan. Yep, general store. Glass blowing pipe, which makes sense. They're talking about the lamps needing the glass orbs. Wildly, that requires the crafting level of 87 to make the light orbs. And then it's 52 fire making to go around town replacing the broken ones. 87 crafting is definitely quite the requirement. It exists more as a better experience from molten glass than it does actually a fire making method here. That's something. We got everything in the market here. We got the fire making system. We loop around the side this way. Going past more people here. Various merchants trying to get in here. Find Urzegs somewhere we could get the market authorization, but we don't really need it. Let's talk to Barlak here. Bones! What? I don't have any bones. How do you stand up? What? How do you stand up if you don't have any bones? Shouldn't you be collapsed in a gelatinous blob? Seriously though, what do you need bones for? To stand up properly, otherwise it collapses into a gelatinous blob. No, seriously. I need bones to use as a construction material. I always need big bones to prop up the mine shafts to make other temporary structures. What kind of bones do you need? Enormous bones. As big as you can get. Not just any big bones will do. Sometimes you might find a particularly long, straight bone. And that's the kind I need. In fact, it'll give you 1,000 GP for one of them. Occasionally, you might find a long, curved bone. These are especially valuable. I'll give you 2,000 GP for them. I'll also teach you a bit about how we use the bones in construction, if you like. These are the new long and curved bones. Long bones, 1 in 400-ish from lots of stuff. Curved bones, 1 in 5,000. You can trade them in here for a few GP and a little bit of construction XP. Will you buy anything besides bones? Well, I've had a few people bring me some interesting giant shells. They say they came from giant snails and giant tortoises. Of course, like the bones, some shells are better than others. Give you 250 GP for ordinary shells. I really need are perfect shells. Pay double for them, give you a few tips about crafting too. These are the snail shells from the snails in temple trekking. Now they have perfect shells, which you can also sell to him. Goodbye. Goodbye. He's doing a lot of bone stuff here. Also makes some of the weapons from these smaller bones. You can go buy that from the weapon shop out in the mines. That's okay. So now, we could technically get those bones and turn them in for a little bit of construction XP. If we want to come all the way over here to Dorgish Khan. They're not particularly common to deal with, so it's not a huge deal. Continuing further south, using the stairs to get up and down and around. Over in here, we've got the wire machine. We need to steal the wire or get your hand stabbed by the wire machine. And then that's used to make the light orbs. Artic, over here in the smithery with the furnace and the anvil. Oh no, what's broken? What? Nothing's broken. Sorry, I'm just a bit jumpy. I'm in charge of all the metalworking of Dorgish Khan. It's a big responsibility. Something metal breaks, I have to fix it, and lots of things are made of metal. Don't worry, I'm sure you're up to the task. I hope you're right. Metal bank, metal furnace, the whole system. Also a sand pit. Explains where they get the sand for their glass, kinda. Except it's just a sand pit, so I don't know. A spit goblin, spinning a goblin, got a cooking range. Lots of guys just all around the city. Or Peel, or Lun. Escape goblins. Let's see if Xanax back at her house yet. A very lively city with a lot of things going on, which are mostly of questionable use. It's definitely a neat place, though. No, doesn't look like Xanax back yet. She might just be around somewhere. We'll leave her to it, I suppose. More Xanax things in the future. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Might even be able to catch her wandering around town here somewhere, doing stuff. Anyways, that is pretty much everything in Dorgish Khan. That's not the end of it. Not even close. Climb up the stairs to the south. We are in the Dark Cave. That is the Dorgishan South Cave place. Darv and Mavario might not be here yet. We can't really get over there, though, since they need a grapple system. We also have a whole agility course over here. Talking with Turgal. Oh, hello, Surface Dweller. Think you could help me? What help? This power station, right here, keeps breaking. I can fix it easily with parts from the old power generator on the other side of the cavern. That's not easy to get to. Do you think you could consider you could get something from there for me? Okay. Excellent. Not at the moment. I need a capacitor and a cog. If you could get either one, I'd appreciate it. Now bear in mind the cog is very heavy, so you may have trouble transporting it back by grappling hook. And the capacitor is very delicate, so you shouldn't try to squeeze through any narrow openings with it. Here, take this spanner. You'll need it to open the power station to get the part. So he needs us to go and get something and bring it back, essentially. What is this place? Oh, this is the power station. Converts heat from the lava into magical energy, which powers the lights in the city. Magical energy. How does it do that? How does it work? Magic. The lava heats water into steam, which drives a turbine around. The turbine contains magical stones. As the magical stones rotate, they generate a magical current in the conductor cables, and that powers the lights. Why is it outside of the city? We're hardly going to get flowing lava inside the city, are we? Don't worry, it's quite safe. The creatures on the cavern floor can't get up here. Creatures on the cavern floor, you say? Why are there cables all over the cavern? Oh, they deliver power from the old power station. There was an accident with that power station, and it stopped working. So we set this one up instead. Okay. So they have a geothermal power plant here. Need to either go across a regular agility course or the grapple course to get over to the old power station over there to get the pieces. This requires 70 agility until 2009, where it requires 80 agility. Sure. The grapple path also requires 70 strength and range until 2009, where it becomes 80 strength and ranged. We got those under control at least. We would also need to go make a grapple. A crossbow that could use it, so I'm not really going to get too much use out of the Droshan agility course just yet. I don't know if that's even good XP anymore. Yeah, well. Heading down here to the floor, we've got the monsters down here. Also the same kind of stuff you'd find in the Lumbridge Swamp Caves, because we're kind of in a different section of that. Cave slimes, cave bugs, good stuff. We also have new giant cave bugs. Oh boy. They are level 11. Before the evolution of combat, they were level 96. As kind of a optional cave bug you could kill if you were a higher level and got a cave bug task and you wanted to get more experience for it. No longer the case. Drop table, terrible. Not even worth worrying about. For a low level enemy, low level slayer, can't be too surprised. We've also got another new enemy here, the Molinisk. It just hangs out on the wall here until you knock it down with a Slayer Bell, requiring 39 Slayer. Again, not a very interesting drop table. Got a few things going for it, I guess. Main thing of note is it is a Molinisk, so it's kind of a mole and drops mole claws, like the giant mole. And then you can turn those claws in with Wyson to get the seed bird nest business that you would get from the giant mole. Not super great. A little more nice for us is this fairy ring. That is very nice. A good way to get out of here. Select destination A, J, Q, which is here. One thing you need to note when coming through this fairy ring is that it is dark in here, so you should probably bring a light source or you're gonna die. Also got some fishing spots for frog spawns, cave eels, slimy eels. Nothing super crazy. Some more frogs and rock slugs and cave crawlers. Nothing too impressive. Here's the old power station over in this corner, along with a tunnel. Calcite lair, mostly harmless. Enter the blocked tunnel, locked up with huge bones and reinforced with metal. Trying to stop the calcites from getting in, perhaps. If we go through here, this does go to the calcite lair, which is pretty interesting. Perhaps they get some sand from under the desert to bring up to the sand pit. A dangerous trek, no doubt. Yeah. Not a huge amount of stuff we need to worry about over here in Dorgish Khan, but it exists now. That's definitely something. I think that is pretty much it. So, between this and Bergdarat Ramble, a bunch of new stuff for old quests. Nice to flesh the areas out, get more rewards. Pretty good times. But now we have this whole pile of herbs and bowstrings and pure essence that we need to deal with, which is very much going to get in the way of future plans. So we definitely need to deal with it. Probably as soon as possible here. So I think that is something we're going to need to do next time. Goodbye.